What do you think? No, seriously, like, what do you really think? Because apparently we seem to be under the assumption that we know what everyone else thinks. Now, we see a lot of folks saying different stuff and things, but is that what they actually think? Or are they just kind of saying what a lot of other folks are saying because that seems to be the thing to do within their different group or community? Because people will throw around this term groupthink, this and that, and then folks, one of the things that really bothers me when folks go around, they say, oh, well, people are dumb and stuff like that. No, that pisses me off, and here's why. That hasn't been my experience. What I believe is people are smart. They know what they know, often well, but when confronted with something that they're unfamiliar with, they often go with what the folks that they know and trust are saying. Because, well, I mean, they're friends, they know them, and everything like that. So it's like, all right, well, why wouldn't you believe the folks that you know and trust? Because you know them and trust them. What's the number one thing to actually get an actual, like, recommendation? If people actually want to see reviews from actual human beings, and especially if it's from somebody that they know, and they ask their friend, it's like, oh, I had a good experience with this. Yeah, folks are more likely to do that. Why? Because you know the person, and you trust them. And very often, if it doesn't go well, you're going to give them a piece of your mind, because, well, it's the internet, and even before that, that's what we do. But my concern is, we see a lot of folks saying different stuff and things, and then all of a sudden, whatever somebody says, if we've seen another person see that or say that, and we haven't had the greatest of experience with them, if you would. Let's just say maybe things got a little tense. Maybe you're kind of knocking proverbial heads on this internet stuff and things. Maybe there was an ad hominem attack. Basically, you're attacking a person's character or something rather than their argument there. Very often, if we see somebody else say or do that, we're like, oh, this is no good right here. We're not big fans of these people. Is that maybe the case? Or are we ascribing all those negative qualities, emotions, and feelings that we've had from prior engagement with folks that were saying these things and actually ascribing them to somebody else? Because, well, we become normalized that, well, when somebody says this, it obviously means this, because in these contexts. I mean, that could be the case, but it sounds kind of lazy to me. It's kind of like, oh, we're doing what's easy and not what is hard. Why? Because it's easy. Again, we're about 80% water. We tend to go the path of least resistance. Water content percentage per human may vary. But I'll digress on this. Just when you see someone saying something, just kind of see if that's what they're actually saying. Maybe actually engage. Try to be positive, utilizing honey. And even if they come after you and they're accusatory, well, take a look at from their example. Very often people that disagree with them, very often, I mean, obviously they're very courteous and stuff like that because it's the internet and we have a certain level of actual respect for one another. If you believe that's not actually the case, maybe a moment of self-reflection is at hand. I do it all the time! But all I'm saying here is just kind of parse it. What do they call the Socratic method? Just follow up, ask questions. Rather than assuming the worst, what if we actually assume goodwill? And maybe when you actually ask a few follow-up questions, well, what do you actually mean by this? Let them actually explain it themselves. Because, I mean, at least when I went to school, we asked our kids to show their work. I'm sure we can hold adults to the same standard. That's all I'm saying for here, but thank you all for watching. Peace out, everybody. Stay safe, and long live the elbow bump. Bump. Aim.